my white tee. Yep. In my white tee. In my white.
Hello there.
Alright guys, real quick, sorry there's a train in the background, so might be. Real quick, this video just came up on my feed a minute ago, and they just started saying some of the stupidest shit.
Reproductive opportunities and sex is negatively correlated with intelligence for men. So like the smart, like there's a point where you're like too smart for your
at
own
a point,
dick,
yes.
basically.
So basically, what he's saying is there's a study that
well, you're gonna like get in vitro fertilization.
That's my backup
that
plan,
was
yes.
it was a thought in your head. Now,
it's
if you were at the
definitely
just like here's a scenario, you're at the clinic and you're going, who's the likely candidate here, and you have to choose from all these guys, and there's a hot guy who's like looks like he's an athlete, he's built, he's got everything. But then there's a guy who's got an IQ of 160. He's not as hot as the other guy, but the other guy is like hella smart. He's like 160. He's like genius, close, gifted level of intelligence. Who are you selecting? You're selecting the hot guy, or are you selecting the very super smart guy?
Well, so
You're not having sex with them. You're just going to reproduce with them.
So this is what honestly that I would look for. Yes, intelligence. If somebody, whatever, and obviously anybody could go to school and graduate from a school if you just work hard enough. But if I'm gonna have a child with somebody, I want like facial features. Like I'm gonna be in a sense slightly shallow. I personally have green eyes. I don't think I would want somebody that's brown eyes. Nothing against anybody with brown eyes, but I don't want to lose.
no, we're
my
offended.
green
We're all
eyes.
offended. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I need
The
to-
95% of the population that has brown
I would
eyes.
fuck someone with green eyes too. I'd be like, I hope my baby come out with green eyes.
But I want somebody that has a good bone, genetic structure, everything like that. Like, I don't want to go, oh, my baby daddy going to be 5'2". Not sorry. Like,
All right,
that's
here we
not
go.
happening. I mean, I know people who are smart and who are good looking. So, you know, it doesn't, anybody, I know because
So you're trying to find the perfect package. We understand that, but selectively speaking, are you looking for the guy who's more physically impressive or the guy who's more mentally impressive?
say physically because I could teach my child to be smart.
But you can't though, because what if they have
So-
like?
So you realize all of that's based on genetics,
no,
right?
You can teach your child things. You can't teach them
you
to be
can't
smart.
teach
Go ahead,
them,
Kylie.
like street smarts. You know how
Oh,
like
that's
sometimes they're
different.
like,
You can give your child
sometimes
experiences, and you can teach them procedures and techniques.
The chat
but
is-
you
the
can't
chat's
make them,
getting ugly.
You can't make genetics is heritable. Genetics is heritable.
They said you got 3 eggs left. You better choose quick.
Time out, Kylie. Dr. Kylie, what did you want to say about this? She was talking about bone structure, intelligence, that kind of thing, and you were shaking your head.
Go.
Yeah, it's if I was in her shoes, I would do the physical appearance. Like for men and women. If you are more attractive in this world, it is gonna be just a lot easier for you.
Thank you for explaining the sexy sons theory. Bravo.
I'm just sorry. I don't want
So,
a
like-
child. I don't.
If they're attractive.
Alright, this is one of the things I wanted to touch on was this whole sexy son theory, okay? Because I just thought that was so silly. Once they said that, I was like, ugh, oh god, I don't even want to know because I already know what it's going to be. Anyways, so I went and looked it up. Again, I don't want to be mean, but it's basically all just from like a jealousy thing. Okay, so look. The sexy son theory basically, hold on, maybe I'll pull up the actual definition just so I can be thorough, just to show y'all how stupid this is. Okay. Like the good genetics hypothesis, evolutionary biology, and sexual selection. Okay. A female's ideal mate choice among potential males is one whose genes will produce males with the best chance of reproductive success. So basically, sexy son is basically wanting a man who has good genes or is attractive to procreate with. Basically, is in these guys like this is mine. It's the sexy son hypothesis, which I'm guessing it must have been some father, I guess maybe who's jealous of his son or was going to be jealous of his son once he gets older or something, to think that the mother would be worried about her son being sexy. No, every parent would want their child, male or female child, to come out better looking with better genes. I mean, everybody would. Anyway, so it's crazy that some guy, I guess back in, I don't know, I think it's in 1912 or something. I don't know when this was, I can't remember. 1912, yeah, Ronald Fisher, I guess is the guy's name. This guy literally must have just legit been a jealous father. I can't, there's no other way to explain it. It's the same exact thing as the good gene hypothesis. Literally, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that you should always pick somebody with good genes if you're going to pick anybody. At the least, pick somebody with good genes, and then, you know, you add on top of that. Like, just pick somebody that's attractive. Like, what? It's so weird that they try to label it that. Like, what? So, like, okay, so, like, what we call a man who wants to get with a pretty woman or a hot woman, would we call that the sexy daughter theory? You get what I'm saying? If you were an attractive woman to have a child with? It's just such a male way to try to label it. Sexy son. Like, really? Okay, I'm gonna look up see if there's a sexy daughter hypothesis. We'll see. This is gonna be even worse. Okay, just looking up bringing to the sexy son theory, I looked at the sexy daughter theory to see if it's a thing. And believe it or not, there actually is more evidence the sexy daughter theory is actually a real thing and not the sexy son theory. Not as much, definitely. Okay, because listen, I'll link to all the studies and shit. It says, basically they come to the conclusion, they did a bunch of tests on people and shit, right? He made one overarching hypothesis. Parents' facial characteristics would be apparent in their offspring's facial characteristics, okay? So like we thought, attractive people make attractive kids, okay? We found, but the only thing is, we found that a daughter's looks, femininity, and attractiveness were accounted for by both maternal and paternal facial attractiveness. Okay, the facial appearances of sons was less clearly related to that of the parents. The only link we found was that between the masculinity of the father and son. It's so weird. Anyways, God, makes it even worse that these guys brought that up. Anyways, continue.
How important is intelligence to you? Of a guy's intelligence?
Time out. We're gonna.
Intelligence is measured on different levels.
Okay.
So there's some people that don't have a degree that still run very successful
Sure,
businesses.
for sure.
Very
Education is different than intelligence. Yes.
So I think that
Success is not
intelligence
necessarily based on intelligence all the time.
At all.
Yeah.
There's TikTokers.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that example.
But I will bet you if we control for intelligence, we're going to find smarter TikTokers do better. I bet you we will.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
bet you
every
will.
TikTok.
Okay, but let her
Maya,
continue.
Maya,
Let her
keep going.
continue. Let her continue.
Intelligence is important.
Okay, intelligence. So the thing, what he's talking about, you can measure EQ, IQ, these different things. The reason why an IQ test was created, does anybody know? It is the ability for a worker in the manufacturing economy back in like the 19th century to be able to take on a new job. What is the rate at which you could learn a new skill? That is directly what IQ is supposed to measure. So there's a lot of holes in that, but that's generally what we use.
Intelligence quotient.
Yeah.
No, he is 100. This is what I'm talking about. This guy's older, way older than me. This is bullshit. He is 100% incorrect. They might have used it maybe at one time to help with jobs or something, but I highly doubt it. Because, again, have y'all not taken the IQ test? It is literally all patterns. It does not help you learn any specific skill. It doesn't teach you anything. It's impossible for you to learn anything like that, whatever, other than learning to recognize patterns. So no, that's not why IQ tests. IQ tests originally were created in France, and it was because a man created it so he could see which children were mentally disabled, which children had special disabilities and shit. So he used it, he made it for school children. So no, this is one of the reasons why I had to comment on this video, because that's just factually wrong. That is not correct. It was never made to, they probably used it to make sure people, you know what I'm saying, to make sure people were obviously, I guess, on a base level of intelligence to do a job, but again, that kind of doesn't make sense only because of what an IQ test actually is. It doesn't really measure, again, unless maybe in the beginning it could have been totally different, but as far as I know, you can't use it like that. Like, it would be impossible to use it to learn a skill for a job. Like, no, it don't work like that. Yeah, IQ tests aren't like that. At least the ones not today for a fact, so I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, sorry.